I said, okay, give it to me. I love direct feedback. She's like, 30 days. Can you just post for 30 days? And I thought I can do pretty much anything for 30 days except diet because I love eating, but I can do pretty much anything for 30 days.
Yeah.
And look what it has done for my business, for my career, for my community. I'm hosting LTK Con here with your incredible team after posting on LTK for 8 months.
It's always been a part of my life. Nobody in my real life thinks I'm funny though. It's really rude and really annoying. They're like, you're not funny, Hayden. And I'm like, well, you know what? This many people online think I'm hilarious. Like, do you want to check my DMs? So nobody in my real life thinks I'm funny, but everybody online does, and I'll take that.
Welcome to More to Say. I'm Amber Vinsbox, founder of LTK, the company that turned creator influence into a global economy. On this show, I sit down with the voices shaping what's next, from trailblazing creators and founders to media leaders and cultural catalysts. We talk candidly about building brands, making hard decisions, and staying relevant in a world that never stops moving. So if you want to understand where business, influence, and culture are going and how to lead the way, well, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Today's episode is the continuation of a two-part series that we're bringing you from LTK Con. LTK Con is in its 13th year. This is where top creators, brands, agents, management teams all come together in Dallas, Texas to talk about what's working, what's not, and the future of the creator industry. I'm bringing you these episodes because I have handpicked a few creators that I want to share their strategies of what's working. They all have a different approach, but it's working for all of them. Today, we have Hayden Cohen and Lilliana Vazquez. No doubt you have come across Hayden on social media because of his comedy around the creator economy. What he's done now is turn that creativity into a thriving commerce business. He searched the internet for all the trends the creators were talking about and made fun of them. But now, turns out, everyone's realized he knows all the trends. So he has nearly 30,000 followers on LTK, is collaborating with brands on the LTK platform, and has built a thriving business over the last year especially. So with Hayden, we're excited to welcome him to the show. He also has a podcast, by the way, called A Lot of You Have Been Asking, which if you follow the creator economy is pretty funny on its own. Next, I have Lilliana Vazquez. Lilliana and I have known each other for over a decade. She's a journalist in the fashion industry. She's done tons of A-list red carpets. No doubt you have come across Lilliana. She is a true savant and professional. And in January, she decided that she was going to transition her career to LTK. She's been on screen. You can tell she is very well trained. The majority of her content on the LTK platform is video. And she is helping her audience. And what she has done over the last just few months is grow her LTK audience to be over 100,000 followers. And she's now a top 100 LTK creator. This is no joke what she has done in the last few months. I wanted to bring her on because many of you probably identify with a shift in your career. Things are changing in culture and society and technology. Things might have shifted with your career regardless of what profession that was. Lilliana is talking about the strategies that she has put in place and how serious she has taken her LTK over the last few months to really grow far and beyond, I think, what most people would ever expect. As a reminder, this is a two-part series. So last week, we talked with Jen from Sister Studio and Brittany from Loverly Gray. As a reminder, those two were some of the first to hit 1 million followers on the LTK app. They have very different businesses, but both very successful. So if you missed the first part, go back and listen to Jen and Brittany. And with that, welcome today, Hayden and Lilliana. Okay, Hayden, I first came across you, of course, in my feed, and you were being hilarious actually about LTK. One of my best friends sent me a post and was like, oh my gosh, this guy I follow, it's so funny. He's making fun of LTK. I think you were like at the beach or something, like had on a hat.
Probably.
And I was like, yes, we've hit pop culture. I was so excited. It was the most flattering thing.
You're like pop culture commentary. That's when I made it.
Oh my gosh, we have fully made it. It's Hayden on the beach. I was like, this is like a couple of years back. I was so happy. And then we're like, let's get him to conference.
Oh my God.
And then like fast forward, you're like, oh, he's showing up with 28 28,000 LTK followers.
I know, right?
What is going on?
Who would have thunk it? I feel like my audience is 99.9% women.
They
And
love you.
It's all the women that are shopping for their husbands, their boyfriends, their sons, their friends. It's awesome.
Like themselves too. I was looking at so everything from Amazon to Tula to Nordstrom to Sephora, like you're selling it all to everybody.
Yeah, I'm trying.
They love you a lot.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I became the beast I used to make fun of. That's what I always say.
No, you literally did.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's something like great about that. But also you kept your comedy. Let's rewind back though, because you actually know so much about the influencer space when you're making fun of it that I was like, this person, who is this? Like, where did they come from?
Right.
So what's the backstory on all this?
So I worked on the agency side of influencer marketing for 5 years. And when the pandemic hit, I was at my house just like doing all of these contracts and negotiations for influencers and brand campaigns. I was seeing how much money was rolling in, and I'm sitting in like this shoebox of an apartment, and I'm like, I could do this. Like, this can't be that hard. Like, I could try. So I threw my hat in the ring. I started like poking fun at influencers, dealing with like the things I was dealing with in my real work life. I was like, oh, like, let's make fun of that. Why not? Spiraled and went viral a few times and built my audience and built a community of people that found humor in it.
Okay, if someone's listening and they haven't yet come across you, like what were some of the funny things that you would see and make fun of from the creator's perspective?
My OG stuff was me talking about like my husband Garrett and our kids Brinkley Bisquick and Blake Blakely. They
Who
all
are you
had
making
like
fun of with the B alliteration names?
You know, never you. I always say I have a rule of thumb. I have to see something 3 or 4 times before I can like poke fun at it. So no one is ever called out individually. And I feel like influencers, like, they don't take themselves too seriously. So like it lends itself well to my content. Mm-hmm. And I've become friends with so many influencers through this, and a lot of influencers shared my content. So that's what helped me really like gain my audience. So I'm balancing a fine line of making fun of them while also being one.
No, they love it. It's so funny because at the first conference when you came, people were like cheering. And I feel like you were almost like, wait, what is happening right now?
No,
like
literally.
You're like literally famous at the conference. And then today from the main stage, like the host is like, and Hayden's here too. And everyone's so excited.
No, literally everyone was like pointing and looking at me. I was like, no, like I'm so shy, but like not at all.
But tag me.
Yeah, literally. Like call me out again, at haters.
Oh my gosh. Okay, has humor always been a part of your life, or did it just kind of develop through this work experience?
It's always been a part of my life. Nobody in my real life thinks I'm funny though. It's really rude and really annoying. They're like, you're not funny, Hayden. And I'm like, well, you know what? This many people online think I'm hilarious. Like, you want to check my DMs? So nobody in my real life thinks I'm funny, but everybody online does, and I'll take that.
So when did you realize that as a comedian, you could actually turn this into a business and an LTK business?
Such a weird way. Like, I would post videos that were completely unrelated to anything that I was wearing, anything in the background, like my environment, and they would ask questions about it. Where's that rug from? Where's that table from? Where's your shirt from? And through LTK, I learned like, oh, like there's a market to like link things for these people who are asking these questions organically, whether it be in my DMs or comments on videos. And I just learned to start calling those out, like whether it be on stories or things like that. People are genuinely interested in just things they see in the background. And I was like, if I can capitalize off of this, I would be silly not to. And so I have.
For sure. And what's I think so interesting too is that, 28,000 people on your LTK, it's no joke. Because guys, think of it like this. Like, it's not like social media where just passively, following or whatever. Like, you have intent. Like, you are literally, it's like following a blog.
Yeah, yeah.
And so people have come over to that. So what is it that you're putting there? How did you really attract that audience to be like your retained audience, like your community on LTK?
I think for me, I try to be as authentic as I can, like in real time through all of my social media. I've had like a lot of life events, whether it be like moving or buying an investment property or things like that, and furnishing that. Like, a lot of it was furniture. At first people were asking about like my style, and I was like, oh, I guess I am kind of influential. And I was like, so if I can capitalize off this, it would be silly not to. And so people have started to come to me for those like recommendations or things along those lines, which has been great because it's helped me like build trust in my audience. And, I'm not just recommending things to recommend them. It's the things that I'm wearing or that are in my house or that are a part of my everyday life. So I think that has like spoken volumes and like helped me build that community.
What have you seen 3 times lately? Maybe even at this conference.
Oh, I've been getting a lot of good material at the conference. First of all, let me just say, everybody's outfits. They did not joke around this year. They did not.
It's serious.
They
This is
came
the
to
outfit
slay,
Olympics.
Not came. No, it's I said it's the influencer Olympics. Like we are here. 3 times. I mean, all of the phone contraptions that I've seen between the tripods and the lighting and all of it. I need to like clip on like a scarecrow to my iPhone and just like walk around with it because that's what I've basically seen here.
I've seen a lot of that too.
Yeah.
They're called tricks, like the things that hang on your bag and
my
all
God,
that kind of
yeah.
stuff. And
The labubu of it all.
yes. Oh yeah. And then there's LTK labubus flying around here.
I know. I'm like, I gotta get my hands on one of those to
We had
sell
a
it on the
whole
black
like
market.
we had a whole no, for real though.
They are going for like
Yo,
insane.
people had a party and gave them out and didn't invite me and did not give me one. And I was like, what does a girl have to do?
I was walking around. I was like, these are lafufus. Like, there's no way they're real. Like because
What are they?
They are out lafufus. It's a real thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
People are selling black market labubus.
Oh, okay.
There's a market for everybody.
Well, maybe that's why they didn't give me one. There was a keychain booth at the front, which all like the tricks and keychains and all that sort of stuff. That was really fun.
Yeah,
I like that kind of stuff. Well, I'm excited to see what you do from this conference.
I know. I have a
The
new
material's only
batch of
halfway
material.
in.
Exactly.
Okay, question for you. Now, I'm sure the first season that you were here was like a little bit overwhelming. I think what did Lilliana today talked about like absorbing so much content. I forgot what word she used. Flooded.
Yeah.
She was flooded. I bet first year con was like that for you. Do you feel like? I mean, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. How did you feel?
It was definitely like stepping into a whole new world. Just first of all, it was my first time like meeting so many of the creators here that I had made fun of. So at first I walked in, I was like, these girls are going to hate me. Like I'm going to be like, they're going to run me out of town. Everyone was so welcoming and so incredible. And so it's good to come back and just like see everybody. It's like a big like reunion of sorts every year, which I love because everyone here is so much fun, so helpful. You're learning so much while you're here. It's just like the best place. I love it.
What would you say are like a handful of tips of things that you feel like you like caught your attention today?
I feel like the biggest thing that I need to work on is consistency. Hearing even earlier this morning, we were just talking about it, but Lilliana about like her jump and how she like took so much time off and then was like, you know what, I'm going to stick to being consistent on the app, and how she grew so quickly and just through being consistent. I was like, all right, note to self, after LTK Con, I'm like going to be invigorated. I'm going to like get back into my thing and I'm going to like post up the wazoo. So be on the lookout,
Video
people.
is huge. Well, I know. I'm like, you have such amazing video content right now in the LTK app. There's a, on the watch tab, there's an LTK Con section. You can see all the creators are here and all the videos. It's an amazing discovery section, but I feel like both brands, creators, consumers, like everyone's loving video. And that's where we're seeing so much growth, whether it's the kind of engagement, interaction, and the whole trust element. It's interesting because you're probably the first time I've seen a comedian parlay that trust that you have with the comedian, because they have to know enough, right, to like be funny. And that's why I was like, I wonder what his background is, because he like knows too much.
I know, it was very strategic. I really have tried to play my cards correctly, and so far it's working out.
Do you ever run out of material?
I don't, because the influencer world is always developing and changing, and there's something new that's trending, whether it be a labubu or, like bucket jeans or whatever those things are called. Barrel jeans, exactly.
You can wear bucket jeans.
I walked around in trash barrels mocking those barrel jeans. So there's always new material, and coming to LTK Con is material.
No, for sure. What advice would you give other comedians?
Just to like lean into your strengths and to be authentically you, because that's like what will connect with people. I feel like for a really long time, I was just trying to be funny with like trends and viral things. And when I just leaned into like my personality more is when I grew crazy. So I was very lucky for that. And I think that other people should just be as authentically them as they can.
When someone transitions to incorporating kind of like guided shopping within, I've seen clunky ones, like, someone who's like totally natural and funny. And then all of a sudden they're like, you would love this phone case. And it gets a little like awkward. Yeah, exactly. Like, how did you make that transition smooth to where you're incorporating products when you had previously done less of that?
Yeah, I feel like there's like an awkward like learning curve that everybody goes through when they start talking about product integration. For me, it started as like a mockery of it, and it just slowly, I started like taking back the mockery a little bit, like piece by piece. So that was what worked for me. It wasn't like a full dive into the deep end of link, link, link. It was more like, all right, I'm going to place them here and there strategically. And now it's worked to my benefit, which is great. And people seem to trust it.
I have a new one for you to try. So last year at Con, I think it was Sephora gave out this, it was like an under eye cream.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to tighten, and it really tightens.
Oh, I gotta get my hands on that.
Oh, it's for real. And it's like this black tube. I'll have to find the brand. And I knew I got it there, so I went back to Sephora to get like the full size tube. And they had the face one. And so today I put the face one on, and it literally tightened my face so tight.
Like...
No, literally, it's on my stories right now. It pulled my mouth back. My mouth's like making this weird shape.
Oh my God,
it's
I need
this stuff that super works. I feel like I want you to like do some sort of like haul tour or something of like watching it transform and just like
I'll be going to your LTK
face.
after this and shopping through your links and buying that for my next skit.
Yeah, I know exactly. I'll be tagging you on that.
Yes, please.
Okay, what's the last thing that you bought because a creator talked about it?
Oh my God. This is actually really embarrassing. I don't remember the creator that I bought it from, but it was a nose waxing kit.
Love it.
On Amazon. It's like one of the ones that you like shove up your nose, and my mom helped me rip it out for me.
Oh,
yeah,
I love
that's a
sweet mom.
Unconventional thing. I'm sure you're used to hearing like, oh, a beautiful bag. I'm like, my nose waxing kit.
No, honestly, it's the practical stuff. Like Yasmina was on stage and she was like, I tell people what toothpaste I use.
Yeah, literally.
Like, no, it's sometimes it's interesting. It's the practical stuff.
Everything.
Oh my gosh, when we first integrated Amazon onto LTK, you could see what people are buying, and it was the wildest stuff.
Oh, I can
obviously.
only imagine.
Yes, it got real interesting.
Oh, I'm sure.
If you were not a creator, what would you be doing?
Oh, I think I would still be in the creator economy in some way, shape, or form. I love this industry. I think it's so cool. I think it's like, I connect more with women, and I love that this industry is ran by women. And so I think I would be like managerial or something along those lines where I'm working with creators in some way, shape, or form.
Yes. Okay. Give us a couple coaching tips before we move on to your outfit tour.
Ooh, coaching tips. I'm trying to think.
Or just like hacks. It could be even like hacks.
Well, you always have to greet your followers in
How do you do that?
an energetic way. Hi, guys. You have to always say happy, insert day. Because if you don't get a happy Monday, like the world won't continue. So always hi, guys. Always happy Monday or whatever day it is. I always say good morning and good night to my followers because I know that they can't live without me. They don't know how to go on without my daily takes. So those are kind of some of the tips that I have.
There's like a funny nuance about that makes someone actually think that like I should be doing this tomorrow.
No, right?
It's like a perverse incentive. It's like some sort of weird psychology that's worked really well for you.
Yeah, I don't know how, but I'm playing the game.
I love it. Haters, this is hilarious. If you guys don't already, it's at Haters on LTK.
It is.
And it's a good time.
It is. I try to have fun with it. It's crazy. I'm sometimes flying by the seat of my pants, but
it's a moment of levity. It's something different in the space entirely, and it'll definitely make you giggle and share to your friends.
Yeah, all I don't want to do is entertain.
I love it. Thanks for being here, Hayden.
Thank you for having me.
Are you surviving?
I am so surviving. Okay, I was just telling somebody, they're like, what do you do to get going? And I was like, I got an IV yesterday, and they added NAD to it. And I literally feel like a high school kid. And I'm like I feel healthy.
What do you know about NAD?
Nothing.
Same. But everybody that looks good is doing it. So add it to the list.
No, for real. I'm like, I'll get just like vitamins and like hydration and stuff. And I just want to, because I know like this week and then we go right into New York Fashion Week. And he was like, you should do this. And then it's funny because my husband did it too. Obviously, this is not medical advice, but my husband did it too. And he's like, I'm shaking. I need to like go run a race. I was like, I don't feel that, but I do feel healthy and happy. So.
From what I hear, everybody is doing NAD. It's like, why? You know how you have a friend that will try everything? They are your social guinea pig. You're like, can you go try this for me? He's doing this and he looks really good. But he's doing it at home. So I think you can do like a shot or an IV.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, but whatever NADs are, clearly they're magic.
Yes.
Because you look amazing, by the way.
Well, thank you.
And your speech this morning, your keynote, was blowing I couldn't stop furiously taking notes in my phone. I felt like such a dork. I was like back in my college days with I had a notebook back then, but I was like writing things down because everything that you were saying truly is going to change how I interact, how my community interacts. You're just dropping gems, Amber, like nonstop.
Oh, well, thank you. I struggle to not feel boring, but There's so much information to share. And I really, truly the point of these conferences is to educate people, because you have to, I call it like, you have to be a weatherman. Like you have to know what's going on out there so that you can play the game correctly and so that you can win. And so it's like, hey, you need to know what's going on in the market, but you also need to know how, like what the answers to that and what the tools are. And so I feel like this is my opportunity to just like teach people. And we launched a ton of stuff today. I'm super excited for you to get to use them all.
I know. I already started a group chat.
Love it. What'd you say?
I said, hey guys, I'm hosting LTK Con. Will you give me feedback on my outfits? Because I do think what you said is so important, is it has to be two-way communication. Like I learned that very early in my broadcast career. If you're just looking at a camera and talking at somebody, I know you're looking at this camera, but there's a person behind it. And same thing with our social and same thing with LTK. There's 100,000 in my situation behind it. So I have to not just talk to that camera, I have to connect through that camera and not talk at them, but have a two-way conversation with them where I'm open to their feedback and I'm open to their suggestions. My best content ideas are mined from my comments, from DMs, from emails that I get sent, from people send me voice notes. And I think if I'm not paying attention to you, then you're not going to pay attention to me, right? It's like any relationship that you have in life. It's a two-way street.
No, entirely. I'm so glad that you launched that. So in case you guys don't know, every creator at the conference got what's called group chats on their profiles. So you can now go in to one of the creators who's here and have a conversation with them. And your perspective is so valid. And I mean, one of the things that I shared today I loved was I was asking people about my bucket list and like, what should I add from a travel perspective? And then my community just started talking to each other down the page and like comparing notes. And I'm like, I love this so much. I love that you guys found each other, that you connected, that we're sharing. It's all here. And that's, I think, becoming more social on LTK is really the next chapter. And I'm excited about that.
Wait, so can I ask you a question? Because how do we as creators train and educate our communities on these new features? Because we're learning about it here. We're going to start using them. So I'm 45, right? So most of my community is probably in their like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And so if they're not super tech savvy and I'm like, hey, I launched a group chat, they might say, what is that? So how do we train, or do you do consumer training on the consumer side of the app versus just the creator side of the app?
I honestly think it's best when the creator like kind of guides the audience and what they want them to do. One of the cool things is like I have trained my audience to come subscribe because and the way that I do that is like I put exclusive content there. So if you want to see anything real time, I am not putting, besides LTK Con, I'm not putting anything on social media real time because I just think of it like for a safety reason for myself, my kids, all the stuff. But if you want to actually see it, then it's on my LTK. So they know they can get it there. There's a lot more exclusive content there. When they subscribe, they get notifications. So if they're a subscriber, they're also getting notifications when you launch a group chat. So they're going to get a push notification. They're going to get it in the phone and they're like, oh my gosh, wait, what did Lilliana say? And I think about those first 5 words because that's what shows up. And if it says, click my link, it's like, this is boring. But if it says, where did you go? And it's like a question, then all of a sudden they're there. Or I just tried. And then it's like, oh, what did she just try? It's almost, it's not clickbait, but it's something that people know that I can be a part of this or there's some interesting information, not like my post went live.
You know what? I think that real estate, whether it's the first 5 words of your caption on Instagram or whether it's your first 5 words now in group chat on LTK or your hook on your reel, I think it shows people that you're not wasting their time. Like,
oh, yes,
everybody's busy, right? We're all living a million different lives. We have a million things going on. So I think it says to them, I respect your time. What I'm giving you is valuable. And then it goes back to what you were saying, which is you're building that trust with your community that you're not going to waste their time. Yes, you're going to guide them into the best like recipes or the best shoes or the best sales, but you're also going to value their time because their time is valuable.
Yes, it builds trust because the second that I just start saying honestly insignificant things or I'm basically almost like requesting of them, they're just not going to come back. No one has time for that kind of stuff. And by the way, I think about this when I chat, like, you know, when you've been like, we have kids, like on a group text and then like everyone is just chiming down the page and I'm like, I am going to be the person who only chimes in when 100% necessary. And when I have something very valuable or an emergency, that's when I'm going to like chime in. But I feel like this is like practical across life is like be the person who only speaks up when you have something great to say. Whether that's in a group chat, in a boardroom, or on your LTK.
I could not agree more. My husband and I, the way we communicate about our son is we're so direct with each other that sometimes I'll have to do like a check and be like, I love you, because it's so logistic driven. It's like, did you get this? Is he okay? Did you send that? And then you're like, wait, we don't sound like a married couple. We sound like people like checking in on different tasks. But I think you're right.
Yes.
I think doing that is so smart.
Okay, you have 113,000 followers now on LTK.
Yes.
You gained half of them this year. And what was so wild to me was on stage, you're like, in January, someone called and said, like, I should just try using LTK. And you've been a creator your whole life. That's how we met.
Yes.
And you're like, and I did. And now I'm basically top 100. I was like, what? My jaw was on the ground. I was like, that's a huge deal.
I think it's with numbers, it's so interesting. I think what I love about LTK is I am such a data nerd and I am a numbers nerd. And so when I hear numbers, it really changes things for me. Mm-hmm. And so when I think about that, so that was January, that was what, 8 months ago? Mm-hmm. I mean, I wasn't even in the top, there's 350,000 creators on LTK. Yeah. So I wasn't in the top, I wasn't even there.
Right.
And I just went to top 100. I mean, there's people that have been on this app for years that have dedicated so much. And I think for me, that jump proved, one, that it is possible, that LTK changes the game for creators. But number two, that the community that I've built is going to follow me and they're going to listen to what I say. It's like what you said, you're not posting on Instagram and something, you're posting on LTK. They know where to find you if they miss you. And so it was mind blowing. It was Nicole Keeley who I think she had done 2 calls with me and I wasn't listening, just wasn't listening. And then she's like, listen, I really like you. I'm just going to be straight with you. I said, okay, give it to me. I love direct feedback. She's like, 30 days. Can you just post for 30 days? And I thought I can do pretty much anything for 30 days except diet because I love eating, but I can do pretty much anything for 30 days.
Yeah.
And look what it has done for my business, for my career, for my community. I'm hosting LTK Con here with your incredible team after posting on LTK for 8 months. It's pretty
wild. Amazing.
That's the power.
Well, and now you're posting 5 times a day, half of which are video. So for people listening, like, okay, are you like writing a content plan? Like, how do you get there?
I get there because I have an amazing team. Okay. And I think that's one of the things that people don't realize. And I am super transparent about that because when I started in January, I was basically kind of doing it by myself and I was going crazy. I have a 4-year-old. I am so present in everything that he does. It is my life's joy to be his mom and I don't want to miss anything. But I also want to build a business and I want to have a career and I want to make sure that I'm committed to that. And so I was trying to post, I was posting a lot of photos and then I realized I cannot do this by myself. And so I hired a team. They're right there.
Hi team.
They're capturing content right now. It's Megan and Natalie. And they have changed the game for me because it is about consistency. It is about frequency. And you said it today, it is about video. Video is what converts. Video is what people want to see. So you have to make sure that you are giving the people what they want. And I get it. Video can be scary. I come from broadcast, so video is anything but scary. I can shoot videos all day long. I could talk to camera a million times a day, but I understand that there's a little bit more of a roadblock there with comfort in front of the camera. And so posting those videos has completely changed my entire business. And it comes second nature to me, so it's easy, but I couldn't have the frequency. And also it's like a quality over quantity. So like, could you put up 5 crappy videos? You could, but I'd rather you put up 3 great videos. And so that's what we do. We're always kind of planning. And yes, content planning for me is key. I use Trello. Have you ever used Trello?
I feel like I've heard that name.
Okay, it's like a cool app and it has boards and you kind of build out your board. So we do each reel as a board. So it has a caption, it has hashtags, it has the images that we're going to use and it just helps organize it. And then you can move it around to say, okay, well, this reel really popped off on Sunday. Maybe we should back it up with a part 2. So it allows you to be creative, but it still gives you structure, which for me, I don't survive without structure.
Yes. I think having a plan is like, I don't see how you succeed without a plan, honestly. You have to have like a strategy, a roadmap. I mean, I remember whether you're listening to this and you're like in college, like I remember in college, I actually put a paper in front of my dad. It was like, I scribbled on a piece of like printer paper. It was nothing special, but I was like, I'm going to be Rachel Zoe. In order to do that, I need to live in LA, which means I need to go to LA. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to do it right now because then I need to like build my business because I'm going to graduate. And it was a literal timeline. It was scribbled out how to be Rachel Zoe. And I was like, so tomorrow I need to drive to LA. He was like, take your brother. But I had a plan. It was like, plans got changed. The Trello board moved around a little bit, but you do the best that you can. And I think as a content creator or in any business is like, you take this, actually there's a founder that gave me this advice and I love the way she says it. How do you eat an elephant? Which is a weird thing to say, but bite.
I actually love that because it's like very visual and you can't tackle the whole thing in one bite. And that's how you build, I think, sustainability in your business as well. It's also how you scale.
Yes. And I think being thoughtful, someone asked me earlier, like, what's your pet peeve in creator marketing? And I was like, I wouldn't say that I have one, but something that I wish was different was I wish that people thought more critically, because sometimes I see creators who are like on a whim, or it's like, you can tell like someone offered to do this and they're just kind of doing this thing, which is kind of in conflict with this other thing. And at some point they get super distracted and you're like, you were once this great creator and now you're just kind of like a little schizophrenic and don't seem to have a plan. Like the social ship doesn't exist. We live in a post-social world. The ship is sinking and you're literally still posting links. You're like, what's your actual plan?
Yeah.
So I guess if that's not really a pet peeve, that's more just like sad. I wish people would wake up.
Yeah, but I think what happens with that is that you're, like you said, you're not thoughtful about it. And I will tell you this, I can tell when I'm not being thoughtful because my community will call me out. Like, can I give you an example from LTK Con?
Yeah.
So I did a poll where I was asking people to vote on a pair of shoes, and one pair of shoes won over the other. It was like a clear winner. And I ended up wearing the other pair. I wore the other pair because this pair is too small. Great to sit in.
They're very cute.
Not to stand in. Then the other pair was too big. But they called me out and they said, if you're going to ask us to vote on the shoes that you're going to wear and then you're not going to listen to us, that's not very nice. And I thought, well, damn. That isn't very nice. And I'm not going to do that again. So I'm wearing the shoes because I'm sitting. But there was a real reason for not wearing it. But I thought it's the same thing. Like, don't just post to post, like post with a plan.
Yes.
No,
totally. Okay. On that topic, what are like 3 strategies you're coaching somebody? Here's your person.
Okay. I love a coach. I love a mentor, mentee.
Oh yes. Okay. Here's your profile. This person was a blogger 10 to 15 years ago. Life changed. It moved around. They still have the talent.
Okay.
But they haven't really found their new kind of like blog home or like plan. What are the 3 things that they're going to do to get this back on track and to seize this moment that, as I said today, the creator economy is literally just taking off, and we can go through all the reasons why in a minute, but this is your mentee and she needs to get back in the game quick.
Okay. If she needs to get in quick, I'm going to give her one thing to do immediately.
Okay.
You have to think of yourself as a service-based business. And what worked 10 or 15 years ago was what I'm going to call more selfish content. It was like, I'm so cute and like, look at my adorable outfit. End of story. Whereas now, I think you have to think about what you are providing. What is the service that you're providing for your community? Is it entertainment? Is it information? Is it expertise? Is it actionability? What is it? And it can be a couple of things, but I think you have to understand what is native to your interactions on video. And once you figure out that you are a service-based business and that you work for your community effectively, it shifts the relationship and it makes it fruitful on both sides, because we weren't doing that 10 or 15 years ago. You didn't have to, but now you have to compete with creators that have no problem serving up what their community wants in 10 different ways, 10 times a day.
Yes.
So the game has really changed. And I think that is the number one piece of advice I can give to somebody that's like, I'm stuck, I can't get out. I'm like, it's because you don't want to get out. It's also a lot harder to be a creator today because it's not so me. Yes, you were at the center of it, right? Like you're at the center of the wheel, but what you have to give is so much more now, I think.
Yeah. Someone was talking about how when people open up content, they need to be able to get value without like making a purchase, like buying into a transaction. So like what information, what education, you do such a good job of that. The video I referenced was, you were talking about, hey, how do you take a summer trend into a fall trend? Like swap this bag, add this coat, and it's like the same outfit, but this is how you're layering it through. And it was so useful and helpful. And you're building trust, you're building relationship by doing that. But that's a wonderful reminder. I do often talk about being a creator is a hospitality business, but the way you framed it about like really providing value and it not being about you and yourself, that is a huge moment. That's a huge call out.
Yeah. And I think that's what's so different when I look back to when we first met. It just was, it was a different world, right? And I think evolving and growing and changing and always staying curious about this business that we touch so many different industries. Like some of us are in fashion, some of us are in beauty. We're in tech, right? We're in a hospitality business and service. So I think it's always staying really curious. And that's why I think what you're doing at LTK Con, when you present that keynote, it's so rich with information. It's like, I have to go digest it now. Like I need 2 days to digest everything I'm learning at LTK Con.
Well, and for creators who weren't able to be there, or if you were and you need to digest, we are releasing a digital version. So that'll come out next week and it'll be in like multiple parts. And so we will show clips and pieces of like what's happening on main stage and some classrooms and some other stuff, which is wonderful. Okay, let's do some fun rapid fire.
Let's do it.
Okay, what is the last thing that you bought because another creator recommended it?
So my son just started full day school, which is a
Sweet.
big, I might cry, which is a really big deal for our family. And so he usually eats lunch at home with us.
Yes.
And so now he's going to lunch. And so I bought a thing that allows you to make Uncrustables at home.
Smart.
It presses the sandwich, which I know is not glamorous at all, but food influencers are some of my favorite follows because I am not naturally gifted in the kitchen is what I'm going to say.
Not your focus area.
Yes, exactly. But I feel like if I can make him something and put it in, like he'll feel my love through the food. And I feel like I can fill it with like
That's
the stuff
really
that
sweet.
he loves. So I bought an Uncrustables maker from Amazon.
I've got to do this because literally he'll feel the love. I'm like, my kid got leftover cold chicken nuggets from Sunday night in his Monday lunch.
But
I'm
you
like, he
made
was
the
not
chicken
feeling the
nuggets.
love. No, I didn't. I bought them. I'm like, oh my gosh, this
They
is so
feel
bad.
the love in other ways. This is week
I'm
one.
inspired.
Talk to me in 3 years where I'm like, I don't know what he had. He had a bag of chips, maybe some pretzels, and a Capri Sun.
And I'm like, I just try to make sure that they're not opening a package to eat their breakfast. I'm like, we can do better
That's
than
good.
that. But like,
It's the most important meal of the day.
oh my gosh. Okay, if you could raid anybody's closet, whose would it be?
Temi Otedola, I believe is her name. So y'all have to look her up. So she's a Nigerian actress and influencer. And she was just married, I believe, last weekend. She had 4 weddings over the course of a few months. When I say this was serving fashion, it was serving fashion, not wedding. She is stunning. Her husband was giving looks. Like it was breathtaking. And her closet is incredible. And you saw her personality come through in every one of her wedding looks, which is my favorite kind of bride to follow.
Oh,
and
for
look
sure.
She's amazing. You have to follow her. She's incredible. Temi.
That's insane. Okay. Now I would like for you to tell us what you are wearing today.
Okay, so I am wearing Steve Madden Burgundy Patent Mules. These are the dupe for the Louboutin dollies.
They're beautiful.
Thank you. They're small on me, but we're gonna make it work.
They run small, or are they?
They run small.
Okay.
Yeah, go up at least half a size. I am wearing my favorite jeans on the entire planet. Can you tell what they are? Do you know? If I stand
don't.
up, you might be able
They're
to tell.
very cool looking.
They're the Abigail from Kate.
Oh, they're beautiful.
These are
Yeah.
like the ridiculously expensive jean that you're like, I can't believe I'm spending that much on jeans, but then you put them on and then your butt looks so good that you're like, I would pay twice as much for those jeans. And I'm balancing that with Steve Madden.
And honestly, they work really well
They
together.
do. They look good, right? And then this is a rotate blazer, which has like a really bold shoulder. I am very petite and I still love an oversized silhouette. I love to dress that way because a lot of my audience is petite. And so I always want to give them inspiration to try something different and try something new.
Yes. It looks great on stage.
Thank you. Thank you. I was wearing this with a skirt earlier, but I also love showing them that like you don't have to buy the whole suit. If you can only invest in one piece, do the blazer and then wear it with your favorite jeans and
Love
a
that.
pair of $100
The going
shoes.
out shirt is back.
Thank God. Do you remember? I remember the going out shirt. I had so many going out tops. Thank God they're better.
Oh my gosh. I remember, well, at least in Texas, when I was in college, you could still smoke in bars. And so we would go out on Tuesday, Thursday, whatever. And then you'd have to hang your going out shirt up to air out because it smelled like smoke.
Like nothing can get the smoky
This is like
sweat.
throwback. So
Yes.
this smells lovely. You smell lovely.
Thank you
look
so much.
lovely.
Yes, I am happy. I actually did an entire reel about the going out top because
I'm gonna have to
I
watch.
was an OG going out top girl and I'm so happy. Black top jeans, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm like in a jeans era, and that makes me want the going out top because then
Yes.
I want to be in the jeans.
Oh my God, the jeans are so
So
easy.
good.
I love denim.
Well, Lilliana, thank you for hosting today. Thank you for being here. All your hot tips, those were amazing. They will go very far.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure.
You can listen to More to Say on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And I'd love to hear from you. Share your comments and questions in the reviews section, or you can reach me at Amber Vinsbox on LTK, Instagram, or LinkedIn.